Welcome to the BrainX channel. In this video, we are going to look at literal equations, also known as changing the subject of a formula. In the equations we have solved so far, we normally had to solve for x and find a numerical answer. A literal equation is different because it contains several letters, and these letters represent different quantities. So we are not necessarily trying to find a numerical value. Instead, we rearrange the formula so that one particular letter is alone. For example, let's consider y equals mx plus c. This is the standard equation of a straight line. In this formula, y is currently the subject because it is alone on one side of the equation. If the question asks us to make x the subject, we must rearrange the formula until x is alone. And the same goes for m and c. We have to rearrange the formula until that specific letter is alone. And that letter that is alone is called the subject of the formula. When we change the subject of a formula, we can use BODMAS to identify the order in which the operations are being applied to the letter. And then we undo those operations in the reverse order using inverse operations. So let's start with a basic example. For our first example, we have V as the subject of our formula. Now, this formula is the first equation of motion used in physical sciences. It is used to describe the motion of an object moving with constant acceleration. But now we've been asked to make t the subject of the formula or the equation. Now that means that our final answer must have t alone on one side of the formula. Before we start, let's use BODMAS to identify in which order the operations are being applied to t. First, the t is multiplied by a. Now you can write a times t or t times a. It means exactly the same thing. So that is the first operation. Next, the u is being added. Okay, that's the second one. Now let's have a look. This u is positive, so I'm going to add a positive sign here. Now to make t the subject, we undo these operations in the reverse order using inverse operations. Let's rewrite this formula first. So first I'm going to undo this u by moving it to the other side of the equation. And because I'm adding, I have to do the inverse operation, which is subtracting. So I'm going to subtract u on this side, and what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. That will give us v minus u equals a multiplied by t. Okay, so this step is done. And now let's do this last step. Here t is multiplied by a. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So that means I'm going to divide this side by a to get rid of the a. And what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. And that leaves us with t equals v minus u over a. You can also do this. You can write it as v over a minus u over a equals t. And then because the denominators are the same, you write one denominator and you combine your numerators. So you end up with exactly the same equation like you have over here. It just involves an extra step. We normally write a formula with the subject on the left-hand side. So I'm going to swap the two sides. Just make sure that you keep your signs the same. Now, we are allowed to swap the two sides because equality works in both directions. If one expression is equal to another, then the second expression is also equal to the first. Okay, so this is the final answer. For our second example, we have this formula that is used to calculate the area of a circle. Now, we have been asked to make r the subject of the formula or the subject of the equation. That means we have to get this r on its own on one side of the formula. So let's use BODMAS to identify the order in which the operations are being applied to r. Now, first, r is being squared, and then the result is being multiplied by pi. So this is the first operation, and then that will be the second operation. So to make r the subject, we undo these operations in reverse order. So I'm going to start by rewriting this equation or this formula. So first we will undo this multiplication by pi. And what is the inverse operation of multiplication? Yes, it is division. So I have to divide both sides by pi. And that will give us a over pi equals r squared. All right, so now we have r squared, but we only need r. So here I need the inverse operation of squaring, and that is to take the square root. Therefore, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to write it like this. Yeah, I do the inverse operation of squaring, and what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side over pi. And because these two cancel, I'm left with only r on this side, and here we have the square root of a over pi. And then once again, we like to write our subject of the equation on the left-hand side, so I'm just going to swap these two sides. And this is the final answer. So for example 3, we have this formula that is used to calculate the area of a trapezium. But we have been asked to make A the subject of the formula. That means that our final answer must have A alone on the one side of the formula. So let us use BODMAS to identify the order in which the operations are being applied to A. First, B is added to A inside the bracket. The bracket is then multiplied by H. That is the second step. And then the complete expression is also multiplied by a half. Now, remember, multiplying by a half is the same as dividing by 2. So that is step 3. Always try to get rid of a fraction inside an equation as quickly as possible. To make A the subject, we undo these operations in the reverse order. I'm going to start by rewriting this formula or this equation. So we are going to start with this step. That means I have to undo this division by 2. And what is the inverse operation of division? Yes, it is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Then my equation will look like this. 2a equals 1a plus b multiplied by h. Okay, now this step is done. Now let's have a look at this step. Here we are multiplying by h. And the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So that means I have to divide by h. So I divide by h, and what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. So that leaves us with 2a divided by h equals a plus b. That is this step done. So all we need to do now is to get rid of the b. So we have to move the b to the other side of the equation. So the inverse operation of adding is subtracting. So I'm going to subtract b on both sides. And that will give us 2a over h minus b equals a. Okay, let's rewrite this equation so that the subject is on the left-hand side. So I write a on this side, and I move the whole left-hand side to the right-hand side. So it is 2a over h minus b. And that is the final answer. For example 4, we have a formula that is used in physical sciences. So we are asked to make F the subject of the formula. So that means that our final answer must have F alone on the one side of this formula. Now this example is slightly different because the formula contains several fractions. And because this formula also have more than one term on one side of the equation, we have to find an LCD. So I'm going to start by rewriting this formula, and then we will determine the LCD. Now, here I can see that the denominators are u, v, and f. So my LCD will be u, v, f. The next step is to rewrite each of these fractions with the LCD as the denominator. I'm going to start with my first fraction, and I write the LCD. And let's do the same with the other fractions. Let's add the numerators. So first up, I'm going to ask myself, what do I have to multiply this u by to make it the same as uvf? And the answer is multiply by vf. See, if you multiply by vf, it will be uvf. Okay, and what you do at the bottom, you have to do at the top. Let's have a look at this denominator. What do I have to multiply this v by to make it the same as the LCD? Yes, you have to multiply by uf. Then you will have uvf. Okay, and what you do at the bottom, you do at the top. And the same with this f. I have to multiply by uv. Okay, and what you do at the bottom, you do at the top. And now I'm able to write the denominators. So at the top, I've got 1 vf, but I don't write the 1. Then we have uf and uv. Now we have the same denominators throughout this equation or throughout this formula. We are dealing with an equation. That means I can remove the denominator and write the numerator only. So I can write vf plus uf equals uv. But now we still have a problem. The f is still not on its own. So what can we do? Yes, we can take out f as a common factor. So I'm going to write f and I'm going to open my bracket. And let's see what is left over from this term after I took out the f. Yes, v is left over. Because vf divided by f, these two will cancel, v is left over. Plus, now what is left over after I took out the f? Yes, u is left over. And that equals to uv. So here we have this f, but it's still been multiplied by this bracket. So we are going to do the inverse operation. And the inverse operation of multiplication is division. That means I'm going to divide by v plus u. And what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. So I'm going to divide by v plus u. So these two will cancel, and that will leave us with f equals uv over v plus u. And now because f is on its own on the one side of this formula or this equation, that is your final answer. For the final example of this video, we have an equation, and here we have to make b the subject of this equation. Now, this example is more challenging because b appears in both the numerator and the denominator. That means because b appears in more than one place, we cannot isolate it by simply undoing the operations in reverse order. We first have to remove this denominator and then collect all the terms containing b. So let me show you. I'm going to start by rewriting this equation. So normally when we have to solve an equation or when we simplify an algebraic expression, we want to get rid of fractions as quickly as possible. So I have to get rid of this denominator first. Now this right-hand side is being divided by this denominator. That means I have to multiply by a minus b to get rid of this denominator. So I'm going to multiply by a minus b. And what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. So that gives us a multiplied by a minus b equals to 2b. So now I have a b on each side of the equation. So what I need to do is to get this b to this side so that I can combine the b's. And to do that, I have to distribute this a into the bracket. A multiplied by a is a squared, and a multiplied by negative b is negative ab equals 2b. Now it's starting to look like something. So here I have this negative ab. I want to move it to the other side. So I'm going to add ab to this side, and what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. So I'm left with a squared on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, we've got 2b plus ab. So what do you notice? Yes, we have two terms, and each term has the letter b in it. That means I can take out b as a common factor. So I'm going to write a squared, then I take out the b and I open the bracket. So what is left over from this term after I took out the b? Yes, 2 is left over. 2b divided by b, these two cancel. So that's why 2 is left over. Then plus, and what is left over from ab after I took out the b? Yes, a is left over. Okay, now b is nearly on its own, but not yet. What is happening to this b? Yes, this b is multiplied by this bracket. So we have to do the inverse operation. And that means I have to divide by 2 plus a. You can write it in brackets if you want to. And what you do on the one side, you have to do on the other side. And that gives us a squared over, you can say 2 plus a or a plus 2, that is the same thing, equals b. And as you should know already, we like to write our subject on the left-hand side of the equation, so I'm just going to swap both sides. Equals a squared over a plus 2. And that is your final answer.